Okay, more thoughts that are fast. This is from NecroStevo. You know, I thought your name was NecroStuo for some reason, just for like from a glance when I first added you or vice versa. I know it's not that. I like the concept of a necro stew. So funny story before I begin. First of all, this ensemble, I'm going to keep mentioning this for each of these thoughts videos, but I'm just trying to get the hair out of my eyes, and it looks really funky and stupid because my hair is in a weird growing phase. So there you go. But funny story, in between the FF2 video and this one, my girlfriend called me. Actually, she called me during the FF2 video, but I love Ryan so much, I decided to ignore my girlfriend and answer this call. And she's like, hey, can you help me carry some stuff inside or to our deck? And it turns out she bought about 500 fucking pounds of dirt. And I am a disgusting, sweaty mess. I'm not overweight, but I'm like climbing up to the cusp of being overweight right now. So like I'm just like out of shape and it's like old and haggard and tired. So I'm losing my energy here, folks. I haven't had any caffeine, so maybe I should do that. Okay, this is a minute 16 seconds in, and I've talked about nothing about red and blue. So sorry, I guess that's, you know what? It's 4 minutes of talk and a minute of nothing. That's the way it's going to be from now on. Pokemon Red and Blue. Man, you know, it's difficult for me to talk about this game without going full happy console gamer and saying the word nostalgic after every other word. And I'm not throwing shade at you, Johnny, because I love your videos, man. You'll never see this, but I love you, man. Look at us together from across different screens. But yeah, I mean, it really is nostalgic. You know what? Maybe this is like a boomer opinion. I feel like I have a lot of these, maybe. Or a zoomer opinion, sorry. I actually don't really like Gen 1. I loved it at the time. I think, like, historically, it's an amazing generation, and maybe in a lot of ways it's the best in terms of innovation. It is probably the best in that sense. But I can't go back to Gen 1 when the Gen 3 remakes exist, man. Even Let's Go. I'd rather play Let's Go, and I don't really like that game that much, like, in context. But I just would rather play Fire Red and Leaf Green than Red, Blue, and Yellow. I think Yellow was a bit too much of a catch grab. I appreciated it for what it was at the time, to have more Pokemon. It was kind of to me, that's like prototypical DLC. And you could obviously think of earlier examples in this, but like that's sort of where I base my DLC, I guess, thoughts around is Pokemon Yellow. That was the first time I encountered something like that in a mainstream context. So, you know what? I have a lot of good memories about this game, obviously. You know, I'm old, but I'm not ancient yet. I'm just weathered, I think, at this point. So I'm 31, and this game came out when I was 10, I believe. And so it was right at the cusp of, like, video games stopping being cool for a while, because like in the early 2000s, at least in my cohort, people started playing games. Their games started to become almost taboo. Like, that shit's for kids, dude. I mean, well, I'll say one thing, dude. I'll shoot some guys in Halo, man. But like, that was sort of like the vibe from the people I went to school with, because I went to school with shitheads, apparently. But like, it was sort of the last hurrah for video games in a adolescent context for me. And I have a lot of really good memories of going to Burger King and trading some stuff. I have the quintessential like epic gamer, god gamer moment where I like slaughtered somebody's Mewtwo with my Scyther, and like definitely exploited dumb kids for Pokemon cards, like of totally unfair trades. I traded my Nidoking in the starter pack for the TCG for a first edition Charizard, which is like the most fucking like stereotypical, like it sounds like it's made up, it's so trite. I did that. But yeah, sorry, I keep going off the subject of the games, and maybe that's the point of these videos. You get the James Joycean stream of consciousness here. I don't really want to, there's not too much I can say about it that hasn't already been said, but what's something that's interesting? You know what? I don't like the Pokemon progression in this game. I think it's very, like, some people forget that. I'm not a Gen 1er. I think Gen 1 has some of my favorite designs, but like you don't have a lot of type variety in this game. The meta's broken. You can find a million different articles about how busted the mechanics are in this game, both like glitchiness wise or bugginess wise, and like where it works as intended versus what it doesn't work as intended. And that's just kind of a dead horse that I'm whipping, but it's still there. I don't know. I was a blue guy personally. I liked Blastoise. Blastoise is my favorite. Still is my favorite Gen 1 starter anyway. Well, one last thing. I'll say I remember I was so stoked about this game. We actually did a podcast episode about it. If you want to hear more about my dumb nostalgia waxing on and off Mr. Miyagi style, you could check that out on our Spotify and SoundCloud. But there was like a bunch of promotional pre-release stuff for this game that like is really ingratiated in my head about like it came with this book and there was like a VHS promo tape. It was corny as hell to promote the anime and the games. I went into this game so stoked, and I had school this day, I believe, or maybe I had summer school. I don't remember. It was because I was a very stupid kid. Not stupid, but I did a lot of mischievous shit, so I had to do summer school. But it was either way. I remember coming back from school and being so pumped to play this, and I played this game for 8 hours straight without like ever looking away, apart from the player's guide, because I used to do that. It's a companion piece. So I just that moment will forever be in my head, and it was on a Super Game Boy. So I played this game almost predominantly in a Super Game Boy until we had a trade-in stuff, because I'm a blind bastard. You could probably see this. Woo! All right. That's it. Sorry, this is way too long. Thanks, NecroStevo, for inciting this idiocy in me.